The new book, From a Certain Point of View, retells the story of A New Hope from the perspective of 40 background and side characters. Getting those new points of view helps answer some questions and fill in some quote-unquote plot holes that fans have been wondering about for quite some time. Today I'll be going over the 10 biggest questions answered by From a Certain Point of View. Spoilers for the book and I guess the movie A New Hope are incoming, but if you haven't seen that, why are you watching this video? First up, how was the TANTIVE 4 tracked by the Devastator through hyperspace? Captain Raymus Antilles talks about how his ship was damaged in a previous mission before the Battle of Scarif. It was docked inside the Profundity for repairs. The hyperdrive was barely functioning when it escaped and was giving off a unique and traceable energy signature that the Empire was able to follow. Number 2. Did Thane Kyrell or Ciena Ree know what had happened on Jedha or Scarif? People have been pointing that out as an inconsistency in the new canon, and I've always rationalized it by saying that the Death Star and Star Destroyers are huge. It's very possible to be on board and not know where you are or what's happening outside. This theory is confirmed in a story called End of Watch. Only those with proper clearance knew that the Death Star even went to Scarif, and only the highest officials knew why they were there or what happened. Number 3. Why didn't those Imperials shoot the escape pod? In the film, the Imperial gunner is commanded to hold his fire because no life forms were detected. Jokes have been made about that moment ever since, but that officer did have a reason based on a very stupid policy put in place by the Empire. Rebel propaganda and, the films showed Imperials to be poor shots, so bureaucrats decided that promotions should be tied to accuracy and kill ratios. Shooting an unmanned pod would have resulted in no kills and would have hurt that ratio, so the officer made the bad decision to not fire. Number 4. Why weren't droids allowed in the cantina? It's been theorized before that droids just took up space since they didn't drink, and that there were anti-droid sentiments after the Clone Wars. Both of those were true, but Wooher the bartender actually had a very personal reason. He saw his family gunned down by commando droids during the Clone Wars, so he very specifically hated droids. Number 5. Who shot first? There are something like 5 stories that include the confrontation between Han and Greedo. None of them mention Greedo getting a shot off. Even Greedo's own story says nothing about him even attempting to fire his blaster. Of course, this is a direct contradiction with the film itself, but I think in this case it's just a matter of believe what you want to believe. Number 6. Did Boba Fett kill Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru? Boba Fett's story here flat out debunks that fan theory. People guessed that the state of Owen and Beru's bodies got the bounty hunter his disintegration reputation, but Fett himself says that was from a job on Coruscant, and he also mentions finding the burnt homestead. He had no part in their murder. Number 7. Whose chair sits empty in the Death Star conference room? Fans have guessed that seat belonged to Orson Krennic, and that theory is confirmed in a story about General Tag. Number 8. What happened to TK-421? I've had a lot of people ask what Luke and Han did to the men that originally wore their stolen stormtrooper armor. They are confirmed dead, and their bodies were hastily hidden only to be found before the Falcon's escape. Number 9. How did the DIANOGA get into the Death Star's trash compactor? It was placed there on purpose. It was captured on its homeworld of Vodran and put in the trash compactor to help break down any organic material that was thrown away. It would also appear that they are at least semi-sentient creatures. And number 10. Where was Mon Mothma during the Battle of Yavin? We saw her in Rogue One, so why wasn't she around during A New Hope? The answer is easy to guess, but before Leia made it to the base, the Alliance High Command had her evacuated. Had the base on Yavin 4 been destroyed, Mon Mothma would have been all that was left to rally the disparate remaining rebel cells. Those were all the more major questions I thought were important enough to answer here. I will be doing another video soon about all the minor but still fun details revealed by the book. But until then, well hey, maybe you'd like to get the audiobook for free. The From a Certain Point of View audiobook is out now, and it's voiced by a diverse and talented cast including Ashley Eckstein, Neil Patrick Harris, Mark Thompson, John Hamm as Boba Fett, and many more. You can get it for free by clicking on the link in the description or by going to www.audibletrial.com/StarWarsExplained. If you sign up for a trial, you'll get a credit for 1 free book, and you can use it on From a Certain Point of View, or a number of other Star Wars books. Or get any book you want. The point is, you get a free book, and you'll be supporting the channel when you do. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to see new Star Wars videos every single day, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out my Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.